Oftentimes we talk about gifts and what God blesses us with in life, but what you have to understand is your God-given gift isn't just for you. A lot of us get kind of caught up and we're almost selfish in a way to where we hide our God-given gifts and talents away from the world, and it's for numerous reasons. It's because of self-doubt, it's because of insecurity, it's because of inconfidence and incompetence, and you playing small at life robs others of the experience that your gift can give them. And I'm not always talking about business. Purpose is when God blesses you with a gift or knowledge or a talent that can bless others. Whether it's your gift is to be funny, to entertain, and to make other people happy, or to carry them away from their reality in life, that could be your gift. And you need to use that. I know so many people in real life that are hilarious, that could be like stand-up comedians, and they're so insecure about themselves to the point where they won't even expose that to the world. They won't even let their talent and their comedy rub off on other people and give them a better experience of life because they're too worried about how they feel about it. For those of y'all that don't know, I actually initially grew my platform. That's my YouTube, my Instagram, my TikTok. I grew it about 3 to 4 years ago, around like post-COVID, 2021, 2022. And I grew my platform off of fitness content. I used to post a lot of diet and training, so some of y'all might know me for that. A lot of y'all don't, because I completely rebranded. But that was a prime example of my life where I was living small and I was keeping my gift to myself. Now, don't get me wrong, I did use my platform. Like I said, that's how I grew my platform. So I'm not gonna say I was playing small completely. I was giving out a lot of free sauce. That's really how I grew my content with fitness, and now I do the same thing even with entrepreneurship. I give out a lot of free gems, right? Because I just simply love to help people. I know that my God-given talent is to find things that I like to do, hobbies, whether it's fitness at the time, or if it's credit, or if it's business. I like to find those things and make the parts of them that are complicated easy for myself to understand and easy for everyone else to understand. So that's just always been my God-given gift. And even when I switched from niche to niche, I did the same thing. My fitness channel used to really blow up because I posted every single day and I was consistent with it. I was posting diet and training and diet and training. And with all that being said, I was playing small because I didn't offer personal training. I knew everything about macros. I knew how to get from 25% body fat down to single digits body fat. I knew everything about calories and macronutrients and sugar intake and cardio, all of that, how that worked. And I built a really, really impressive physique for myself. Now I still work out, but I'm not as heavy into it as I used to be. And man, from the mix of like my results and my physique and me being a testimonial of what I'm preaching, but also me giving out so much free game and people telling me how I changed their lives, I knew that I had a bigger purpose and impact. I knew that I had a greater gift other than just the content. The content was just one aspect of it. And I had hundreds of people DMing me asking me, hey, do you do personal training? Do you do one-on-one personal training? And I never did it because I was too insecure. I was too scared to bet on myself. I knew that I had all the knowledge base and skills that was needed to start a personal training company, but I was too scared to take money from people. I was too scared to be held liable for, someone else's progress. If someone pays me and I don't give them the results that they desire, I was worried about that. And it took me a very, very long time to get into business and entrepreneurship, all because of the mindset that I'm talking about right now. And I'm not necessarily saying that's bad. I definitely would say, wait until you have your system and all of that in place to be able to do that. I missed out on probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And not only that, I missed out on the opportunity to impact hundreds of people's lives for the better, giving them their dream body, making them confident again, fixing their health issues and their things that have been passed down to them, their bad habits that have been passed down to them from generation to generation. So with all that being said, I don't regret a lot in life. I feel like everything happens for a reason. Everything is on its own timing for sure. But I definitely feel that if I could go back, that's one thing I would do different. I would have offered online coaching at that time because I just was being selfish with my gift. I was just using it to get views and to get traction to my page, but I wasn't truthfully living out my full potential with that gift. I knew how to transform hundreds of bodies. Even friends that were close to me that used to go to the gym with me, and I used to make them meal plans. I've literally helped people lose a lot of weight, like, over 100 pounds plus, and I just was too scared to bet on myself. And I'm telling you guys this for a reason. I'm not saying it just to yap or talk about how good of a fitness coach I was. what I'm saying is a lot of you guys do the same thing in your gifts. I gave the analogy of the comedian, but some of you guys are great singers, but you just sing in the shower. Some of you guys, you know, want to be singers and that's what you do day to day, but really you're good at art and drawing and no one knows about that except for your sketchbook. So what you guys have to understand is finding your purpose is what's going to bring you to financial freedom in life, because once you're organic in what you do, and what you do impacts thousands of lives and hundreds of lives of other people, even if it's not numbers, once what you do impacts the lives of other individuals, now that's when you're going to get true abundance, because it's the law of attraction. You're going to be putting a lot out into God's kingdom and into the environment, and it's going to come back to you, you know, just by the law of attraction. So you guys have to understand that it's cool to hop on a lot of quick trends, or even sometimes a job is a trend, depending on how you look at it, right? But these things will not, they're going to just sustain you for the time now, but they're not going to help you grow long term. So figure out what your God-given purpose is. Be honest with yourself about what your God-given purpose is, and that's going to lead you to abundance. But the saying, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink. It's kind of the same thing with this video. And I feel like a lot of people stay small or continue to live small because it feels comfortable, but really it's expensive. You guys are missing out on a lot of opportunities. You're missing out on a lot of networking. You're missing out on a lot of financial opportunities. You're missing out on a lot of opportunities for growth and for experience to add to your resume and to, you know, your internal resume as well. What you've done in life and your knowledge base and your wisdom. You guys miss out on so much of that because staying small feels better. It feels better to hide behind the camera and scroll on social media as opposed to being the one propping up the camera and talking to the camera and looking like a crazy person and posting yourself when you don't have a haircut, and just to get your message out there and just to fulfill your God-given purpose. And a lot of you guys are robbing yourself of that experience. You're continuing to live backwards. You're continuing to work for money instead of letting your purpose do the work for you. And that's what you guys have to understand. Your purpose can do the work for you, and then you can use that money to make you money, and that's how you unlock an abundant life. I was so lost for that for a long time. I was chasing the wrong purpose. I was chasing the wrong types of things in life, and it pretty much got me nowhere. It didn't get me anywhere close to where I wanted to be. So my advice to you guys is stop staying small. Stop letting other people make you small. Chase your dreams. I can sit here and point out all the things that you guys aren't doing and all the things that you need to do to get better, but if you get off of this video and you do the same thing that you've been doing before you watched it, then what was really the point of watching the video? So my advice to y'all is get off this video, go connect with God. Even if you feel connected, get closer. Write the pros and cons list of everything you're doing right now and figure out what you can do to put yourself in a better position. Maybe you don't need to pivot. Maybe you don't need to change. Maybe what you're doing is good. It's just not working all the way yet. So start figuring out what you need to do to make that work for you. All of you guys are capable of being your best self, living your best life that you could live, but no one's going to provide that for you but you. That's what you have to understand first. And it sounds so cliche, it sounds so repetitive, like, oh, I hear all these guys saying that it's just up to me, it's about locking in, putting in work. It's about all of those things collectively, yes, but it's most important of all about taking action. Taking action to strengthen your relationship with God. Taking action to better your daily habits. Take action to get rid of your bad daily habits. And taking action to set goals and actually achieve them. A lot of you guys will sit here and talk in group chats or cake up on the phone or talk on FaceTime and tell somebody about your goals and your big plans that you have, and 6 months later we'll check in and there'll be no progress on that. Start checking in on yourself. Start giving yourself weekly goals and monthly goals, and even if you have a goal for the year, start breaking up smaller goals to get you to that goal. A lot of you guys are set these goals so high and you don't even know the steps that you need to take to get to them. A lot of y'all are probably asking yourselves, how do I know if I'm living small? How do I know if I'm being small with my gifts and selfish with my gifts? Well, ask yourself, what am I good at? Like, what am I really good at? What am I really good at that potentially, if I found a way to put it into a service or a product, would it sell good to a lot of people? And I think when you think about that, there's probably something that you're not doing in life that you know that you should be doing, or maybe you're doing something that you know that if you were to go this route it would be better, but you make up a lot of different excuses of why you're staying small. I feel like what really made that change for me was, first and foremost, getting right with God, getting connected with God, because once I could hear his voice, I could hear what the answers to what I was praying for. I could hear that okay, if I'm asking for clarity, he's going to give me signs to show me the answers that I need. He's going to give me signs to not have to figure out everything on my own. And once you strengthen that relationship, it makes it a lot easier. The enemy sometimes will distract you with, different types of things that look shiny. Sometimes they're even opportunities. Sometimes you might get a job or start a business that you think is a good idea, and really the enemy is the one that put that opportunity in your lap. So you have to be very careful, and the way that you can really avoid that is not being deceived by the enemy, by having more trust in God, by having a better relationship with God. And once you do that, the next step is really just a self-realization. First, understanding that you are living small, you are not living up to your maximum potential. And once you realize that, then you can act on it. A lot of people live in denial, and they always say, oh, well, that's not me, or oh, I'm not doing this, or they leverage the excuse that they use to themselves for the reason why they don't use it. And now they just use that excuse as a crutch forever. They're always stuck on, oh, well, I would be great if I could do this, or I could be great, but this. And you guys need to get out of that mindset. You have to escape that mindset. And it's going to first take that self-realization. It's going to take that self-talk and that self-discipline to really take it to the next level. What really helped me make my breakthrough was first being close with Jesus Christ, but secondly, after that, having the realization, and I would say directly after that, having guidance, having some form of guidance. I'm not going to be one of the guys that's on here that says, buy my mentorship. That's not the goal of my channel. But what I will say is invest into your knowledge. Either invest the time or invest the money. If you feel like you don't trust anybody to mentor you, or you don't really have the funds to do so, then invest the time. Put in overtime. When you get off of work, instead of scrolling on your phone, go lock in and research that business model. Go lock in and research marketing for that business. Go lock in and research everything you need to know legally for that business to take it to the next level, or for that business plan that you have. A lot of you guys have solid skill sets, and you're not maximizing them because you're lied to. You're lied to by the enemy. You're lied to by society. You're lied to by social media. Live your God-given purpose and live it to the fullest, and I promise abundance will come in return. It might take a year. It might take 2 years. It might take 3 years. It might take 2 days. Everybody's time frame is different, but once you have clarity in your mind and you have that conversation with God, and now you have the proper guidance and instructions, whether you buy a mentorship or you research online or whatever it is that you do to get the information that you need to take it to the next level, the first step is having God make it clear to you, having that communication with Him, right? The second step is being realistic with yourself. Once God makes it clear to you, now understand that that's the reality of the situation. Understand that you're behind. Understand that you're lacking. Understand that you're slacking. And once you understand all of those things, now you can fix them. If you don't understand them, that they're an issue, then you'll never be able to fix them. And that's one of the main